There was actually a time not so long ago when I had to face a pretty harsh truth, but an important one. And that is that we cannot go back to who we were. We cannot do things in the same way that we once did and expect growth. My name is Jessica Sisko, and I am a medium and spiritual coach. If you would like some support, especially around learning to trust your intuition, I do have a spiritual connection package, which is 4 sessions where we can start to explore this together. If this interests you, my link will be in the description. I think I referred to this in a previous video about spiritual growth, and I will link that in the description as well. But I got to a point where I had no choice but to realize that certain things in my life just weren't working for me anymore. And that's because I was trying to do them the old way, that the old me would do them. I was operating from the old identities and old stories that I told myself. And I was a little bit nostalgic and grieving the past when things just seemed simpler. But I had to realize that I could never go back to the way things were, doing things the same way, because I just wouldn't get the same results. And that's because of growth. It's meant to happen that way. We can't have growth without that period of discomfort and realizing that there are things that we need to let go of. About a year or so ago, I was restructuring my work, my business, to kind of reflect the ways I have grown as a practitioner and just as a person. And I had a lot of resistance to that because I liked the old me. I liked the carefree way I did things. I liked when I was starting out doing this work and I was excited and everything was fresh and it was new. And I also, around the same time, I started realizing that there were some dynamics in my life that just weren't working for me anymore. And as tough as those dynamics were, it was almost like a comfort thing where I was used to growing up a certain way and things being a certain way, and I did not want to let go. And one of the biggest reasons was it was like a security blanket. My old identities, my old stories that I told myself about the way things had to be, the way that I had to work, the way I had to interact with other people to make them happy. And I started getting really fearful. It took having to remind myself over and over again that it's safe to let go of these old things, these old ways of being, because I outgrew them. And I had to really have that firm talk with myself that, hey, I outgrew these things. These are no longer aligned. These things are no longer working for me. It's time to let them go. And slowly, I started letting go of the resistance. And yes, it does take a while. Yes, it can bring up some very uncomfortable feelings. But when I really started to let those things go, I definitely felt so much more peaceful and so much more aligned. And I felt like, wow, this was really an accomplishment for me. And I started to feel more confident in myself again. So yes, it was definitely worth the little bit of discomfort. It was definitely worth sitting with my feelings and going through that process. And I really want to encourage you, if you're going through that now where you're like, oh, the old me isn't working for me anymore, but I don't want to let go. I really encourage you to sit with first why you don't want to let it go. What is that getting you? And secondly, what is it costing you to not let go of that? I really want to encourage you to sit with that process. Be gentle with yourself. Get some help for this if you need it. If you are wanting to really trust your intuition and recognize how it's coming through for you, then I'd like to invite you to explore whether my spiritual connection package is a right fit for you, and that and my other services will be in the description. I'm sending you so much love and many blessings.